Hi, guys. This is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor, and your leverage for change. Today, I'm coming to speak to you about some of the things that you need to watch out for when you start to date again. Um, and the first and most important thing, guys, is for you to take the time. The first thing that you need to do before you start dating is to take the time to heal. So, why is it important for you to take the time to heal? Well, a lot of people will rush from one relationship to the next. And this is particularly so true with the anxious, preoccupied attachment style because they just feel that they need to be in a relationship with someone for them to be whole. This can also happen with the fearful avoidant, but to a lesser extent. But why is it so important to take the time to heal? And how do you heal? Right? Do you just stop dating? Well, first, that's the first step. Take a pause and go through the healing process because this relationships hurt, especially when broken relationships hurt. When you've lost a relationship, whether it was good or bad, it is going to cause you some pain, and you need to heal from that before you move on. And how do you heal from it? Take the time, guys. Take the time to sit with yourself and feel all the pain and everything that happens. Cry. Take the time to just reflect on what it is. What can you learn from this? And why is it important to learn from this experience? Is because you don't want to now take that experience and now go into another relationship and now use all that bad experience. If you haven't resolved and healed from it, you're going to take that same, the negative experiences that you had from that past relationship and go into a new relationship and, enter that relationship with that toxic negativity and, pain and everything. And you're just going to, it's a recipe for disaster for the next relationship that you go into. So take the time to heal. And taking the time to heal, you may need help from a counselor, a therapist, or a coach like myself, right? This is what I do. But you need to work through the process of healing, guys, before you go into another relationship. Not only do you need to work through the process of healing, but you may have found that you went into relationships, similar relationships, just with a different person, just with a different body. So you go into relationships with women who are similar, with men who are similar. They have the same kind of behaviors, and so why is it that what that happens? So when you take the time to heal, then and you have someone to help you along, like a therapist, a coach, or a counselor, then they can point out why is it and help you to work through that process. So you don't go back and choose and go into relationships with people who are going to damage you, basically, because all of these relationships that you keep repeating all the time you go into this relationship, it's the same type of person. Either they speak down to you, they ignore you, they cannot be emotionally connected to you, they're abusive, whatever it is. So, guys, that is why it is important to heal, so you can be ready for a better relationship when the time comes, right? To take your time. Don't rush from one relationship to the next. Because as I said, you're going to carry all that nasty baggage if you haven't healed into a new relationship. And you could meet a nice guy, a nice girl or woman or whatever it might be, and then you just take that nastiness and you sabotage the relationship from the very beginning if you don't heal. All right? Heal yourself and heal from that relationship. So the next thing you need to do is to when you finally meet this person now, guys, you want to pay attention to the person's energy. You want to pay attention to the person's energy. Energy does not lie. Sometimes you go into you go into a place and you just don't feel comfortable. It could be a building, it could be passing someone on the street, it could be someone you just met, and something is not comfortable inside of you, right? Pay attention to the energy. That means, there's something that just doesn't feel right. Pay attention to the energy. And if you go into a relationship with somebody who you don't feel safe with or who you don't feel, comfortable with, then that's not a good idea to stay in that relationship just because you need to have somebody to be in a relationship with, because it, later on down the line when things turn out terrible or something is going wrong, then you might remember when you had that feeling that there was something just not right about this person, but you ignored it because you wanted to be in this relationship so badly. He looks fine, he has this, he has that, he seems to be well educated, he, whatever, or she looks so gorgeous and fine, and all of that sort of stuff is not going to matter later on in the relationship when things do not work out if you do not pay attention to the person's energy at the beginning. And I've always said, guys, you cannot do all of these things if you rush into bed with someone at the first date, second date, third date, whatever. Take your time to get to know this person. Guys, the worst thing you can do is to jump into bed, especially for the females, of course, that jump into the bed with somebody you're just dating. Because the thing about women is, for men, it's easier that, for most men, I would say, not all men, but for most men, they can jump from one bed to the next and not feel anything because they're not emotionally connected to the person. But a woman, most women, as it's not all or none. Most women, once you sleep with that person, you're now emotionally connected to that person. You have a soul tie, and now this person can do whatever it is that they want, and you will always be making excuses for this person. You will excuse everything away, even when they're abusing you physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, right? And you will sit there and oh, he doesn't really mean it. All kind of stupid excuse. You accept the excuse because you're now tied to this person emotionally. Because when you have sexual intercourse, guys, you become one with the person. You don't realize that. I mean, we take this so much for granted that we do this. People do this so often that it's now become a societal norm, and it is not a norm. It should not be a norm that everybody you meet, the first thing you do is jump into bed with them. It's not a norm, right? This should be between two committed individuals, not just the first person you meet. Because as I always say in all of my videos when I speak about dating is, guys, the first time you meet this person is a stranger. He could be Jack the Ripper, who's going to rip out your guts and kill you, all right? So you need to be careful and stop being so careless in your dating with strangers, female or male. I've heard of women who will take the man, the man will go to their house, and then they have like men there ready to rob him or take him to his home and rob his home and then kill them, right? So please be very careful. This person is a stranger. Take your time, meet them in public places, get to know them, and before you get emotionally, take the time and watch out for these things that I'm going to be talking to you about, all right? So pay attention to the energy. Now, when you took the time to kind of heal and also to get help maybe from a coach to kind of heal your attachment style that requires that you are always in a relationship and that you just need to be in a relationship to be complete or whole, then you will hopefully learn from your past experiences. But that does not mean you carry that hurt and that pain and that yucky stuff. You have to heal from that so you don't take it into your future relationships. Sorry, guys. You need to also, but guys, stop posting all your personal stuff on social media. Yes, there are things that you can post, but it should not be so specific that you're talking about, oh, this person hurt me, or I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that, because there are predators out there ready to connect with you and take advantage of you. And they'll come to you with all the ammunition that you've put out on social media saying, oh, I'm looking for this in a man, or looking for this in a girl, whatever it might be. This is what they should do, whatever it might be. There are predators out there, guys. These are called narcissists. They go after people, male and female, but mostly male. I'm sad to say, most of the male will go out and do this to the females, because as females, we just chat too damn much. We talk too much and we tell all our business on social media. And so we need to stop that. Okay, guys? Because you're giving some narcissists out there, trolling the web, the ammunition to, and the next thing you get a DM now with all the things that you want. Oh, can we connect or whatever it might be? Be careful. Keep your stuff to yourself, right? And valued friendships. Don't go scrolling, putting it all over on social media. Also, guys, you have to be careful as a woman, when you're dating, you're you have a persona that you exude on social media. If you keep taking booty shots to show how big your booty is, or some other kind of body thing to show all of your stuff hanging out, what kind of person do you think you're going to be attracting? You're just going to be attracting people who want that sex, right? You're advertising sex. I mean, I know some people don't want to hear that, but that's what you're advertising. And not only does it degrade you, it degrades all women. Because now those types of people think now that all women are like that. Every woman is like that, right? And so that is why you see in society today that there's so little respect for women, because we also contribute to it by doing all these things, like posting booty shots, all your stuff hanging out, like that is the only part that there is of you that's valuable. You know? So guys, please be careful, right? Just know that. The next thing is settling, because of maybe age. Settling because of your age. You might think, oh, I'm this age, I'm past this thing where I should be married and having children, and I can't find a man. Oh, I'm just going to settle with anything that comes by quickly. That will be the regret of your life if you do that, right? You are valuable. You are valuable just by yourself. You don't have to have a husband just to have children, because that's what society says or dictates. Okay, guys? Pursue your dreams, have your goals, live your life. That right person will come at the right time. Okay? And if you can't have children after that, adopt. There's so many kids out there that need parents. Go and adopt a child, all right? Lots of children out there, babies, who have no parents. You can adopt, all right? And stop talking about this, your time is up or whatever it might be. The next thing is, if you're older like me, right? If you're an older person, you think, oh my God, I'm not going to find a man, and whatever it might be. And it's kind of sad to say, guys, that, for as women feel this thing that they need to have a man. But the men, all they're doing is just strolling all over the place, having every single woman, because of all these women who just feel that they have to have a man just to have a man. And so these men are having a field day, guys. They're having a field day because they don't feel they have to commit to anyone, because there's so many women out there and they can just jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Be careful. Have respect for yourself. You do not have to have a man to be whole. And that is where you will need the healing. That is where you will need the healing of going to a coach and working through all of that thing that tells you that you need to be in a relationship, whether it be a woman or a man, to be whole. You have to be whole yourself before you go jump into any relationship, guys, so that the relationship will be two whole persons, not two half a person trying to become whole, because nobody can satisfy all of your needs. Just learn that. Nobody, no man, no woman can satisfy all your needs. Okay? You have to be whole yourself first. When you're dating, guys, please watch out for any little signal of emotional abuse, like ignoring you when you're talking, belittling you, trying to tell you where to go, what not to do, that kind of stuff, right? Shouting at you, or being passive aggressive with some little thing, and which they may run off as pass off as like, oh, I was only joking, why are you so sensitive? Because that's usually what happens, right? Pay attention to those things. That's not a good sign. Red flag, all right? If somebody is easily agitated or lacks self-control. If somebody, as soon as you say something, they get agitated and want to defend themselves, there's something wrong with that. Because remember, guys, anything that you see at the beginning is just going to be magnified when you're in a relationship. when you're in a committed relationship, whether it be a dating before you get married or when you're married. It's just going to be magnified. And you don't want to be living in hell for the rest of your life. Okay, guys? Because living with a partner who treats you like crap or mistreats you, emotionally abuses you, physically abuses you, you feel like you can't talk or say anything, is hell on earth. I'd rather be alone than to be in hell on earth. Okay? I don't intend to go there when I die. I don't want to be living there when I'm alive on this piece of earth here. All right? So somebody who is overly sensitive, everything is a problem. They complain all the time. Everything is a problem. That's a red flag. Because then, you have to be walking around on eggshells. You can't say this, you can't say that, because they're going to get upset, or everything is a problem. Everything is a negative. Just having this negative attitude is also bad, because it gets tiresome and it can wear on you if you're not that kind of a person. Be careful of your values. Watch out for what values this person has. And you won't know the values until you take the time. Instead of jumping into bed, take your time to get to know the person. Remember, as I always say, dating is for gathering data. It's not to prove your sexual prowess. Okay? It's for gathering data. Also, if they don't seem to have their priorities right. I mean, for example, they might be driving this really fancy car, expensive car, but they live with their mother. Or they live in an apartment renting, which, it's expensive, but they're not even earning that much money, so they're constantly in debt. Watch out for that. It's going to affect you when you join with somebody. Whatever they do affects you, okay? Just be careful of that. Guys, as I said before, as women, we talk a lot. We just tell all our business up front. And so some people are predators. Some people are predators, right? And this is usually for women, guys. I mean, sorry, it is usually for women, because women we just talk too much. A lot of men do that too, but I don't see a lot of women using that as something to manipulate people. It is usually the men who use that kind of information to manipulate their female partner. Sorry to say, but it's the truth. So also, guys, when you're dating, and this again is usually done where the men are more the people who does this kind of a thing, is that if they're not really interested in you, all they're going to do is wait until the last minute to call you for a date. They want to go on a date 8 o'clock. They call you at 6 o'clock or in the morning. Sometimes not even in the morning. They'll call you at 5. Oh, what are you doing? This is after. Be careful, guys, because what has happened there is that after they've asked everybody else that they really wanted to go out on a date with and they were rejected, then they come and you are there. Okay, so you're like last stop for the night. And not only that, what happens is that a lot of when somebody asks you for a date to come over, but it's like nighttime. They're not taking you out anywhere. Oh, can we Netflix and chill as kind of thing, and they might order a pizza or something. They come over and they eat the pizza and stuff, and your dessert. It's the fact. Your dessert. Remember that anytime somebody calls you that late to come over, it's a booty call. This is not a date. It's a booty call. All right, and they've exhausted all of their other options, and so you were the last one, and so they're calling you. So you have to be very careful of that. Another thing is you're a secret. You haven't met their friends, their family members, or anyone in their social group. Nobody knows about you. It's just you and him. Like, you and me against the world. Right? And so you might feel that. Some women can think some crazy stuff, right, when they want to validate stuff. And so it's be careful when you see that happening after a couple months and you're going out consistently and you can't meet this person's friends, because guys, it's important that you meet their friends and their family members, because that also tells you a lot about who this person is. Their friends are going to reflect who they are. Their family members is going to have some kind of a thing over their the way they are made up, right? Their personalities, how they think. And sometimes that that can happen in the reverse, in that if their family members are horrible, they can be uh, one person who decide this is not who I want to be, and kind of move away from that. And then at that time, you might see that they are not so close to their family members, but at least you should know their friends, because their friends know they get to choose their friends, guys. So that will show you the kind of people that they choose, their mindset. How are they thinking? Why would they choose these people? Understand? So the next thing is somebody who has no life goals or have anything to strive for. They don't have anything that they're striving for. They're not going to college. They've reached the maximum of growth potential that they are going to reach, and they've just finished high school, and that's it. And they're doing some little thing in the yard or whatever, some little odd job around the place, and they're not really striving to do anything else. That's the person you're going to end up with. All right. Somebody who belittles your achievements, also, that is somebody who's going to be jealous of you later on, and they're going to belittle you, and they're going to not want you to grow or be better, because they don't want to look bad, because now you're growing and you're achieving stuff and they're not, right? So you have to be very careful about that. And this is for both male and female, guys. As you know, if you meet their friends and family, how do they treat and interact with their friends and their family? You have to watch that. That's very important. You get a lot of information from that as well. Now, another thing is, watch out for someone who's not willing to sit down with you and discuss difficult conversations, things that might be going wrong in the relationship, and you want to sit and talk about it, and they just don't want to talk about it. You just want to always talk about stuff. You know, that's the kind of attitude they may have. Run, don't walk, run, okay? Or somebody who always blames somebody else for their mistakes. It's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Run, don't walk, run. All right, because then that will be you next. The married people. You know, I was on this date, sometimes I was on these dating things once, and these married people are reaching out to me. I go, you are married. What are you even doing on a dating site? Whether you're married and you're separated, that's your problem. You're married. You're still married. Do not date married people, guys, because they'll come to you with this nice excuse. Oh, we don't even sleep together. Oh, we don't have any relationship. We just live in the same house like strangers. BS. If they're interested in you, they will get a divorce and form a relationship with you. Don't date married people. Okay. If you're always the one who's when there's a problem or there's an argument, you're always the one going back to reconcile the relationship. That's not right, because most times, you know, if it's their fault and then you have to be the one going back all the time, every single time, that's a problem. Red flag. Run. Also, if they're not willing to answer questions that you have for them, you know, want to know something about this or that, and they don't want to answer questions, it's like a secret, it's like, why is none of your business? If you're in a relationship, it's your business. Just like if they ask you something, you should answer them. You're a partner now, you're in a relationship, right? And you want to get to know each other. That's the whole purpose of getting to know each other, is asking questions, right? And guys, don't make the mistake. A lot of women do this as well. Don't make the mistake of, when you're in a relationship with someone, more so the woman. I don't know about men, but I know women do it a lot. They may not have had a date, or the person did ask them for a date, and at last minute, as I mentioned earlier, they asked for them to go somewhere or to come over, whatever it is, and you made plans with your friends or your family members or whatever it is, and you cancel your plans for them. Don't do it, because it's just a precedence you're setting. You have no boundaries, so now they can just cross over that boundary and walk over you. And then when you complain later on, they're going to say, but you've always done it. Why are you so miserable now? Okay, guys? So I hope that you have learned something from this video. When you are out of a relationship, heal, guys, and watch out for all of these things that I mentioned in this video. And I hope you learned something from it. And if you have, please share it with someone who you may think need to learn stuff like this. And also, please subscribe to my channel so as soon as I upload something, you will get notification. This is Christine, your relationship and mindset mastery doctor, and your leverage for change. Until next time, take care. Bye.